What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation Wannabe, and I just got an email from somebody that was asking me about the differences between sleeping in the PSD phase of training with Prime and the TNT phase of training at Prime. And the question kind of goes like this. Do you share the lower bunk for rest when the vehicle is in motion? Good question. Have you adapted to sleeping while on the move? And then goes on to say, I'm in my PSD phase of training, sleeping on the top bunk, which is fine. Moving from the top to the bottom and sharing seems safer while in motion, but I would have no sense of personal space. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. So when you first go to Prime, one of the things that you're going to sign is going to be a disclosure stating that you will sleep in the bottom bunk when the truck is in motion. Now, a lot of people at other training companies, I know one specifically, will allow you to sleep in the top bunk because they have nets that are up at the top bunk to keep you from falling out of the top bunk. To me, that's not even the biggest issue. You know, everybody that is driving a truck says they're never going to go under one of those low bridges, but you always see videos of trucks going under low bridges. And if you happen to be in that top bunk when that truck goes under a low bridge, you're going to be set up for a fucked up day. So that's one reason why I would never sleep on the top bunk when the truck is in motion. Now, I've been in the top bunk when we've been at a shipper or receiver, and rather than my trainer waking me up, he might drive to whatever door we might have to go to or whatever. And even then, it almost feels like you want to fall out of that top bunk. But I certainly would not do that while we're out driving. So as far as what I do when it's time to sleep, we do share that bottom bunk when the truck is in motion. It's really not that big of a deal for me. With this trainer, my last trainer, it was a little bit different. Some of you guys may know that I had a TNT trainer for about 2.5 weeks when I first got it Prime, and that situation was a menagerie that I may or may not get into in a video in the future. But trying to sleep on the bottom bunk or his bottom bunk was a little bit less than optimum, let me just say. So, typically, if it comes time to sleep, I get done driving. What I'll do is, he'll usually straighten out his blankets on the bottom or whatever. I'll pull out a thick blanket that I have on the top, put that over all of his blankets. I'll move his pillows up to the top, and then I think he has like a little thin blanket he sleeps under. I'll throw that up top, and then that's kind of how that goes. So it's really not that big of an issue. As far as cleanliness and everything go, we seem to be on the same page as far as that goes. Now, sleeping when the truck is in motion, listen, that's something I'm not sure if anybody ever really adapts to. It's easy to sleep on while the truck's in motion when you're going through eastern Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, all that flat stuff. But when you're going through West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Northern California, that's a totally different situation. So it gets easier, but I don't think it ever has become truly easy or something that I've kind of adapted to. So good luck when you move to your TNT phase. I know a lot of people. As a matter of fact, you know what? I've stayed with my trainer. I'm probably coming up on 100,000 miles of my TNT training. The main reason why all right, let's put it this way. The main thing I'm looking forward to when I get off the truck is sleeping. It's not getting my own truck. It's not it's being able to really get a chance to sleep. Because, when you have your own truck, you're going to have those times to sleep when the truck is not in motion. So I'm really looking forward to that. So let's see. And then he goes on to say, you know, okay, he feels like there would be no sense of personal space. You know what? If you're really running when you're in TNT, you know, I think it's a little different. You know, I did not do my PSD training in a truck, but I just don't think there's that much time when you're doing TNT training, especially if you're with a runner, where you're going to be having all this time to do a bunch of personal stuff anyway. To be honest with you, here's my specific routine. So it comes time to change drivers. Typically, if it's my time to fuel or something like that, I might pull into a fuel island because I can waste, you know, good, you know, 25, 30 minutes in there fueling and doing all that stuff. So I'll pull into a fuel island. Usually he might be up, but if he's not up, I might just say, you know, what's up? It's time to switch. Then I'll start, you know, pumping, doing whatever. Get back in. You know, he might be inside, brushing his teeth, doing whatever. By the time he's done with that, you know, I might be just unhooking all the stuff from the fuel tanks, knocking out the windows. Now he's ready to drive. Go in the back, throw my blankets down, throw my pillow down, and then go sit up in the front, because you just can't go right to sleep because you got that adrenaline from driving. So I'll sit up in the front seat for about 45 minutes to an hour and a half, just chilling, shooting the shit with him for a little bit. Then I'll go ahead in the back, so that gives me about, what, 8.5 hours, 8 to 8.5 hours to get in some sleep. So I might go back there, throw in like some YouTube videos, and not like, you know, YouTube videos I'd be listening to would be things that I don't necessarily need to watch. Lately I've been kind of on this little Holocaust survivor, you know, situation, so I like listening to some of the testimony on that, and then I'll just have that playing, you know, when I go to sleep. And then I'll wake up maybe an hour, 30 minutes before it's time for me to drive. He might do the same thing, so there's really not a bunch of time to get into a bunch of different personal stuff. So anyway, hope that answers your question as to what it's like for you guys that just came over to my channel. I think I was done with my, well, today is what, September, I don't know, it's like September 24th. I began my TNT training on April 10th. I think I was done with my TNT training maybe just under 60 days after that. So around June. I would have been done earlier than that, but it took a week between my first trainer and my second trainer. So definitely was doing probably about 20% more miles with my second trainer. So maybe it would have taken the same amount of time with my first trainer, but I've decided to stay on my trainer's truck. And I'm in one of those rare situations where we're a good match for each other. There's been no reason for me to run off the truck or anything like that. From what I hear and just talking to different people, is one of the main reasons people get off of their trainer's truck isn't because they wouldn't stay there if they could stay there, or you know, with people doing 50,000 miles, shoot, I don't know how that's gonna work if you aren't getting along with your trainer. Sorry, we got some people cutting the grass, but that seems to be the biggest reason why people are getting off their trainers' trucks, is just incompatibility with their trainer. And I know this is kind of straight off of what the original topic was, so I'm going to shut this down before I keep rambling on. But listen, this is something that's important that I want to mention before I get off here, and it doesn't pertain to any of these questions. If you and your trainer do not get along, and you can sense that from the very beginning, the best thing that you can do is let your dispatcher know as early as possible that you need to try, you know, you need to get with another trainer. I know somebody that's been with 3 trainers, so, you know, it's not, you know, and they didn't really get a bunch of heat for switching trainers. You know, they're not going to get upset with you for switching trainers if there's a legitimate reason. I'm not even sure if my trainer or if my dispatcher even asked he did kind of ask what it was about, but you know, there's really nothing. You know, there's really nothing there trying to force me to stay on or anything like that. I know I'm rambling. I just want to thank you guys for stopping by. New Hippie Trucking and Transportation Wannabe. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.